Stay tuned for more exciting programs only here on INCRadio.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Welcome to another episode of INC Radio's Faith and Melody, the program where we have meaningful conversations about our faith as members of the Church of Christ, while we also listen to inspiring INC original music. Today, we will be talking about trends, the ones we follow, the ones we avoid, and about remaining confidently different in the trends we choose to follow as Christians, especially inside the Church of Christ. We're excited for you to join us and to share your insights. So let's get started with the first song on our playlist today, which is entitled Together.
Thank you, Father, for our family, this wondrous blessing you've given us. Despite the trials that we face, you strengthen us in our faith, and we trust in your promises. We're firm in our hope, abounding in our faith. We're waiting till the day we will be with you in heaven. We need you in our lives to help us do what's right as we are running on our path to the promised salvation. Together we'll praise you, Lord God. Together we'll serve you with love. Together we'll remain in the Church of Christ. We promise you our loyalty. We will uphold our sacred duty. To serve you all our days as one family, united to complete our race. We'll follow your command. Firm in our hope, abounding in our faith, waiting till the day we will be with you in heaven. We need you in our lives to help us do what's right as we are running on our path to the promised salvation. Together we'll praise you, Lord God. Together we'll serve you with love. Together we'll Church of Christ. Together we'll praise you, Lord God. Together we'll serve you with love. Together we'll remain. Church of Christ, to praise you, Lord God. Together we'll serve you with love. Together we'll remain.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, no matter what part of the world, whatever time zone that you're tuning in with us there. And of course, I see a few people that's tuning in, listening, watching us from the Philippines. So for all those that may be watching us from the Philippines or listening to us, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang gabi. Hopefully, you are all doing well. Hopefully, you're all having a fantastic day. Welcome to another episode of Faith and Melody. And whether you're tuning in with us live or on the replay, welcome to today's episode of Faith and Melody with our topic, Confidently Different. I'm one of your hosts for today's broadcast, your brother Jay Esperanza, broadcasting all the way from the land down under here in the District of Australia West.
And I am Sister Arabelle Celestino coming all the way from London, United Kingdom. One of your
Yeah,
co-hosts
so
today.
one of our co-hosts. So you have both of us, me and your sister Belle, that'll be here showing you all the things that we've got planned for our today's broadcast, which is just to give you an idea of what's coming up in today's show here on Faith and Melody. Of course, before we get into our topic discussion about confidently different, we're going to have a little icebreaker, but we also have our Faith and Melody heartbeats. We've got we've received many song requests. So we're going to be playing a couple of them on today's broadcast, but we also have a curated list we've chosen specially for you of INC original music. We've got a topic discussion and most importantly, our verse of the week here on Faith and Melody. Very excited to have you with us. Very excited to hear your thoughts and your insights. So make sure that you keep tuning in, you listen in, and share with us your thoughts right now. Best place where you can go and join us in our discussion is, of course, by tuning in to our YouTube channel, which is INC Radio DZM 954. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure that when you do go to YouTube and you go to our YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And while you're watching us, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, that like button. So that actually helps to push this broadcast out there in the land of YouTube so more and more people can get notified that we are live right now. But it's okay if you're watching us on the replay as well. Hit that like button as well so that more people can get to see the show that we prepared for you today. And there you go. That's how you can do it. We've got two links that we're currently monitoring that we're broadcasting right now. I can see a few people saying hello to us in our 24-hour live stream link. And there's a whole lot of people saying their greeting each other there in our solo link, our Confidently Different Faith and Melody solo link. So make sure you let us know where you're tuning in from, where if you've got any greetings or shout outs, and join us in our discussion for today. Right, Atibel?
Yes, and for today we have a few people, as you mentioned. We have Brother Rod Kahayag, hello po, as well as Sister Chelsea Yu, happy viewing po mula sa lokal ng Calapacuan distrito ng Zambales South. I hope I pronounced that well, as well as Brother Rogie Lampria from local congregation of Paco, Manila, Metro Manila West. Happy viewing po. We also have Brother Mario Oka. Good 12 a.m. here in the Philippines and stay safe. Greetings from local of Brixtonville, district of Caloocan North, as well as Brother Nathaniel Russell. Good morning. Currently in a meeting. Thank you, brother, for joining us today. And we also have Sister Melvi Tamayo. Good morning, everyone, and happy viewing from Central Valley, California. So
I
thank you so
love
much,
that.
everyone. I
So
hope
many
that
people
you
greeting us. And at the Bell, Sister Bell, like a few of them are from the Philippines that's tuning in right now, where it is currently, if you're tuning in live after midnight, right after midnight. So maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpupuyat. Hopefully you can tune in and stay with us for our full show. We would really love to hear your insights po, in our broadcast for today. And with that, like as we mentioned, before we get into our discussion for today, which we are excited to, what's the segment that we're going to do first, Sister Bell?
So let's start with our icebreaker.
Icebreaker.
Yes. So our icebreaker, what are we doing for today?
So for today, it's word association game. I hope that it's self-explanatory. So basically, one of us, me and brother Jay, will be giving you a word, and in the live chat, you will be writing down what comes to mind when you hear that word.
Okay. So
Hopefully,
whatever word
everyone
we've
will
got
be
in our
able.
icebreaker, what comes to mind, right?
Yeah. So for
Okay.
our first word is perfect. What's the first thing that you think about when you hear the word perfect? Let's see, Brother Jay.
For me, perfect. Wow. Okay. So I didn't prepare for this, as you can see. What comes to mind with the word perfect? Striving hard, working hard, right? Working hard. Because I mean, I'm the type to say that I don't think there's anything such thing as perfect, but we strive, right? We try to work towards being perfect. I don't know. That what comes to me, like working hard, like striving, really going for it. How about you, Sister Bell? What comes to mind when you hear the word perfect?
For me, when I hear the word perfect, it's perfect pitch. I mean, I am fire, so I'm like, oh, perfect, perfect pitch. So that would
Perfect
come
pitch.
line to me. But yes,
You're a choir member, right, Sister Bell?
yes.
Can I ask, do you have perfect pitch?
I mean, I strive
We
to.
strive. There you go. We strive for it.
Yes. But yeah, let's see in the comment section if there's any
There's
comments.
one that that Brother Rod, our Kuya Rod said there, which is Jesus Christ, right? You know, that's definitely one that's there when you think of the word when we're associating with the word perfect. I love that. I love that. What else comes with the word perfect? What else comes to mind? I don't know. That's a tough one. So what we'll do, we'll move on to the next word because it's probably a little bit easier. Given for many of our viewers right now, it's currently midnight. So, you know, we're trying to break the ice here. So let's try and do, hopefully, this is a little bit easier. The next word. So, for all of you that's playing the game with us as you're listening or you're watching us, what comes to mind with the word home? Home. So, in Filipino, is that bahay? Bahay. That's right, right, Tita Bell?
Yes,
Bahay in Filipino.
bahay.
So what comes to your mind when when you hear the word home?
For me, when I hear the word home, I think about cozy because when you're at home, you're relaxed, and it's the time where you get to get some rest. So for me, it's cozy, my first word. But what about you, Brother Jay?
It's very similar. I like what you said, cozy. For me, it's very similar. I was thinking like a safe space. You know, generally the place that you want to go to after a very long day of work and stress, I guess sometimes. It's nice to go back home, right? Is there anything else that comes to mind? Kuya Rod, when he thinks of the word home, he says food. Food. Oh, our brothers in our main studio actually asked a question. What's the difference between home and house? Sister Bell, what's the difference between home and house? In
Well,
your
my own definition of it is house is the actual place
the
where,
building?
yeah, the building, and home is a feeling like, oh, I feel at home.
Oh, I like that. It's like a feeling. So home is like a feeling for you. So that's another thing that comes to mind because the next thing that actually popped into my head when I was thinking of the word home And for those that are tuned in, we're just doing our icebreaker. What comes to your mind when you think of the word home? For me, my family, my wife, and my daughter. So it's not really the place that we're at, but wherever we are together, as long as I'm with them, you know, that feels like home. That's something that
Oh,
we always say. Home is what's that thing? Home is where the heart is, and generally that's with my family, right? I like Kuya Rod's reply there for home. I think he said food. When he thinks
food.
of the word home, thinks of food.
And we also have a new viewer joining us today, Sister Ivy Giselle Antonio. She said, for home, her first thought is family and love. So she also agrees with that. And she said, greetings, everyone tuning in from Sacramento, district of Northeast California. And we also have uh, Brother Rod saying, home can be anywhere you want it to be. And that's true.
Mm, that's true. That's true. Our brothers there in the main studio, our brother Nico and brother Irene, said house is the structure, but the home composes of family. Right there, you go. And our sister Dessa Senas, our executive producer here on Faith and Melody, she's there as well in our live chat. So aloha po to our executive producer. She says home, uh, safe, right? I don't know if that's two words or if she means home means safe, because I was thinking as well, home safe. But there you go. So thank you as well for that. Let's move on to the next one, Ate Bell. What's our next icebreaker word?
So for music, oh yeah, for the next word is music.
What's the
I
next
was
word?
excited
Music.
about this one. But yes, the next word is music. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear music, KJ?
Music. Um, Firstly, I just want to say hello. We've got brother Ronnie there in our live chat saying, Ate Bell, what's up? Okay,
Hello,
Roddy, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being with us. We're doing our icebreaker right now. What comes to mind when you think of the word music? For me, the very first thing that popped into my head, because I just attended worship service a few hours ago, choir, the hymns and the choir. That's what comes to mind, right? Because it's really, really reinvigorating, spiritually, whenever we hear the hymns, when we attend our worship services. That's for me. That's one thing that's the first thing that popped into my head. Maybe because I just attended worship service. How about you, Sister Bell? What comes to mind? I know you're a choir member. So,
Same thing for me, singing. But also, since we're on faith and melody. We listen to INC original music here all the time. And it's also fun because we're listening together.
speaking of that, the next thing that comes to my mind with the word music is faith and melody heartbeats. Right? Not yet. We've got that lined up a little bit later, but your song requests, right? Our favorites. I forget how the tagline goes. Like your requested songs, our favorites, faith and melody heartbeats. There you go. So, team live chat or even team replay, if you're tuning in, let us know if you've got any INC original music songs that you want us to play on our broadcast here on Faith and Melody. We do take them down. We take note of them and we try to play them after each show throughout the week, right? So that's music. We've got Sister Melvi Tamaya saying faith and melody when it comes to music. Brother Rod says melody as well. So definitely faith and melody, music. It kind of like it's one of the things that we have here on our show for today. Next icebreaker word for everyone that's playing. I like this one. I'm excited for this one. What comes to mind when you think of the word vacation? Mr. Bell, for you first, what comes to mind when you think of the word vacation?
For me, it's traveling. And after traveling, I think about my sister, Aunt Erica. Because whenever I think about traveling, I think about her. She loves to travel. And sometimes she's able to bring me and my other sister to one of her trips. So yes, for me, vacation equals traveling. What
Shout
about
out
you?
to shout out to Sister Erica, right?
Yes.
Because I know she travels so much that she even has her own hashtag, which is like everywhere Rika, because she's like everywhere. Is that right?
Everywhere. Yes.
For me, vacation, I think of thing that comes to mind is relaxing. And the picture, let me paint you a picture, right, of what comes to mind. Whenever I think of the word vacation, is just laying down at the sand at the beach at a very nice warm spot by the water, right, with my family, of course, with my wife and my daughter. That's what comes to mind. That's usually generally the picture that comes to mind. But what's funny is that usually our vacation involves not being at the beach because we we don't like the heat so much. But sometimes it's nice to be out in the sun. Anything else that comes to mind when you think of the word vacation, Sister Bell?
For me, it's the exact opposite because in the UK, um, it's always mostly gloomy. But lately,
Oh,
it's
that's
been so hot.
right.
Lately it has been very hot, and I'm kind of surprised as well because I was expecting April to be a bit like to get warmer like little by little, but it was raining most of the time. But this last few days have been really warm, so I'm excited about like spring and of course summer around the corner. But yes, for me, vacation is warm and traveling and also food. I love
Food, right?
to experience new foods, especially in countries that I have never been to.
Usually vacation, if you've been on like a strict diet, that kind of goes out the window when you're on vacation and you kind of just eat anything. That's
Yes.
vacation. Our brothers in the main studio said this, and I'm not sure if maybe it's the pronunciation, but Bakashon is making bread po. Is that right? Am I saying that correctly? Because I'm
Yes.
reading Bekityon is making bread. I'm sorry. I'm just butchering. I'm butchering the word.
It's okay. It's basically bakash like bakashon
The
if I'm
joke.
not mistaken. But I think Tech just wrote it in his own way because
Yeah,
sometimes when it's Filipino, we tend to put our own twist into English words.
that's
But
true.
yes,
That's true. Our Kuya Rod said vacation food there in live chat. Our sister Ivy said eating. Our sister Des, our executive producer, says OOTD. What does that mean? Is that
outfit
outfit?
of the day. So you know
Gen-
how when you pack a suitcase, you're like, oh, I've got this outfit and this one, and like in your everyday life, like you're not able to wear certain outfits. I think that's what uh Auntie Das is saying. Like you're able to use certain clothing pieces that you're not able to wear on the daily basis. So that's
that's
also
true. Well, actually, one of the things that comes to mind now about vacation is packing, because related to that, you have to pack your outfit for each day. And generally, to pack, I don't know if you're the type that just packs everything, or like me, I try to pack for each day, and I try to plan already in advance what I'm going to wear for that day. Otherwise, you just end up packing the entire wardrobe, and you end up with like a month's worth of clothes for a 1 week vacation. Sister Melvi, there in our live chat, says beach resorts and relaxation. And she's now reminded that she needs some vacation time. So that's really good that at least we're letting people be reminded that perhaps maybe it's time to unwind and go on a vacation. Um, Brother Nathan is there. His meeting is done. He's been listening in during his meeting, but his meeting is done. And we're on our last icebreaker, Brother Nathan. So the ice is almost completely broken, but the last icebreaker word association that we're thinking of is nature. So, what comes to mind when you think of the word nature? And I don't know, the first thing that comes to my mind is is basically a very green, picturesque landscape. That's what comes to mind when I think of nature. Sister Bell, over to you. What comes to mind when you think of the word nature?
For me, it's camping. Although I don't think I've ever gone camping, but that is what comes to my mind because, as you said, like the forest, like the green scenery, that's what comes to my mind. And second to that, hiking as well. Sometimes me and my sisters go hiking, and it's really nice because we enjoy the view, especially on a sunny day.
Hiking. I went on a hike once. That's it.
How
I
was
went on a hike once, and I don't know.
it?
I maybe I need to warm up to hiking, but I can see a few people in our live chat saying hiking as well. So I think they like hiking. Sister Melvi says hiking. Sister Ivy says hiking. Brother Nathan says bugs. Actually, that came to mind as well for me. Bugs, and for some reason, hay fever. I just associate a big open field of green grass with hay fever, right? And speaking of camping, not a fan of it personally. That's just my thing. I'm not really good with camping and bugs and being in the outdoors. But we just set up our tent. We have a tent, and we set it up inside the house. So
Oh,
we've got this, and then we have it in front of the television so that we can play the nature scape on TV and pretend that we're outdoors. So that's our how close we go now when it comes to camping. We have a tent, and we watch the outdoor scenery on our television. Although Sister Lucy Ancheta is there. Sister Lucy, we have your song request that we're going to be playing later on our show, Paul. But she also shared their fresh air for out for nature. And for Brother Rod, he said fresh air, greenery, animals, bugs, sky, clouds, and water. No, nice, very nice, very nice. All right, so there you go. And I think with that, our ice, our ice has officially been broken. So we're going to move on to our topic discussion today after a quick musical break. Because as we do here on Faith and Melody, just like in our icebreaker, we play music. We have our discussions about faith, and we also have inspiration that comes from the INC original music. So the next INC original music that we'll be playing before we move on to our topic discussion is titled Eyes on the Prize. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Now is the time to wake up and be heard. Don't be scared, nothing can stop us. We are guided. Hold on and stand tall. Fight on and give our all. Don't draw back, our God will give us the strength we need. Go, fight and win. certain of victory. Keep our eyes on the prize.
Yes, hello, hello, and welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. And just a quick shout out that song that we just listened to, Eyes on the Prize. You were listening to that. The vocals was actually Sister Journey Kahayag, which is our Kuya Rod there in our live chat. It's his daughter, Sister Journey, that was singing in that song. So love that, love that. Thank you so much for that song, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. And yes, I see a few people that's just tuned in also from the Philippines. Our Kuya Joshua Arteta, that's there. Kuya Josh, thank you for tuning in. He's saying, gandang madaling araw. Pagbati po sa aming he's testing me with my Tagalog, my Tagalog here. Pagbati po ang aming tagapangasiwa, ang kapatid na Dominador Tapang Jr. at sa kanyang sambahayan po. Play po akong Ikaw Hiling po. That's another song that everyone always loves to request, Ikaw ang Hiling. We'll try and get that. We've noted that, Kuya Josh. Thank you for requesting that. We'll try and get that played during our broadcast here on Faith and Melody. But maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat Kuya Josh for tuning in with us, staying up. I know it's late there in the Philippines. But there you go. We're about to move into our topic discussion. And if you've seen the topic title, we're talking about what it takes to be confidently different. And really, we're talking about trends, because there's a lot of different trends that is around us, trends that we see on the internet, trends that we see when you're watching and scrolling through social media, and even perhaps trends or practices that we might hear from our friends. The people that we hang around with at school or workmates, they might show us a new trend, something that is trending, or something that is going viral right now, right? Something that's popular right now. So as we get into our discussion, let's start it off with something very, very simple. For everyone out there that's listening, have you ever tried to follow trends? Whether it's recently or in the past, is there any kind of trends that you might have tried to follow or tried to do in the past? And there's so many different types, right, Sister Bell? What trends have you tried to follow or tried in the past, Sister Bell? Anything in particular? She's thinking. Oh, okay. I think her audio is kind of not working at the moment. So while Sister Bell is fixing her, oh, there you go. Yes, there we go.
Well, as a digital creator, I like to scroll through cool edits or pictures. So most of the time, the trends that I follow are usually around cool editing styles or cool editing styles in terms of pictures as well. So that's what I lean towards too. I like to recreate those or um, add a twist to it. Like I use the same template, but I would kind of put my own input on it. That's how I usually follow the trends.
I can relate to that because I'm in the creative space, right? When it comes to photo editing styles, video editing, and even the different techniques. I like lighting techniques. When you see other people, when lighting becomes like a trend and everyone starts talking about it. I follow a few people online that do tutorials, on platforms like YouTube, like the one that we're on right now, and others, where they give you those quick tips, right? Those quick tips on how to do this edit or how to do that technique or how to light your scene correctly, and you try that out. So those are pretty cool, right? They give you some information in 45 seconds. 45 seconds, you learn something new because they just speed through it really quickly one of the things that I remember quite recently, in terms of things that was going popular or trends, has to do with food. Funny enough, right? It has to do with food. But you know how a lot of them is basically creating meals that you would normally take an hour or so. Generally cakes that you would normally just bake, but you just do it in the microwave, right? And then you just mix it all in a cup, heat it up, and you've got like a chocolate brownie or you got like a chocolate cake in like 2 minutes or something like that. Not healthy for you, but it's really quick if you just want that quick thing. So in a way, everyone was doing that, especially when we are all at that time and we were all stuck at home for quite a long time. And you just scroll through and everyone is talking about food. I don't know about you, Sister Belle, there in the United Kingdom, but here in Australia, we actually had a shortage on cocoa powder, flour, all of those things that you need for baking because
Welcome.
people were baking breads and cakes at home like so much. Did you ever have that over there?
No, not really, but that sounds really exciting because me and my brothers like during the pandemic, I remember we would follow some of those trends. But I've never heard of any cocoa powder shortages or flour. But that means we're really keen on it. That's so cool.
And then everyone that I just see on social media, they were like making bread, making microwave cakes and microwave brownies and all of that. So I don't know, it was just during that time. Not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. So that's kind of like what I think of when you're talking about trends. It's generally something that a lot of people make popular, usually in a short period of time, and then they kind of like move on to the next thing sometimes, right? But then there are other trends that are a little bit more longer lasting. And in a way, there are also other trends out there that can impact or change like your lifestyle and your character. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good, right? So there are those different types of trends there. So kind of for you, and I just want to read really quickly because something just popped into my head when I was reading our executive producer, our sister Des, there in the live chat. She shared here, when I was younger, I followed I think that's just lioness. I followed the lioness hairstyle, but it turned out to be too short. And my papa was so irritated when he saw me. He gave me money to get it fixed. So I got a perm. Now, I don't know what a lioness hairstyle looks like. Maybe if we can ask our sister Des to send us a photo. Have you ever seen do you know what a lioness hairstyle is? Because,
No,
okay, so the thing that
maybe
came to
I've
mind,
seen it. Maybe I've seen it, but I don't know if I don't know. I've never heard of that term.
no, yeah, a lioness hairstyle. Like I know a lion has the mane all around it. So uh Sister Des, is it basically just very like an afro almost? Is that kind of like what it is? I'm not sure. But the thing that came to my mind when I read that was my mom also followed, would you say they're a celebrity? More like a royalty. Let's just put it that way. There was a certain royalty that my mom followed, right? And because maybe just who they were as a person or maybe just of their status, but she really loved her hairstyle, right? And she had that, and then she got her hair styled to this particular royalties hairstyle as well. And she had it for quite a long time as well. And it looked good, that very elegant kind of, what is it, like shoulder length hairstyle. But it was very, very, there's that as well. Like you've got certain trends where it will change your appearance, right? Or it will change kind of like how you act or behave. What else is there in our live chat, Sister Bell? Is there any other comments before we move on to the next part?
Yeah, Brother Rod said, I got a perm when I was in high school. My hair was long and people thought I was Polynesian.
I can
Oh,
I can almost visualize that. Well, go on.
And then Sister Melvi Tamaya said at the desk, I can relate because I did the perm and bangs trend and did not suit me at all. Oh, I guess that I think when like a trend is going on, like everyone wants to try it, but it's okay. I think you're still pretty, Sister Melvi. And Auntie Des says, Clear Rod, my son also got a perm and I was surprised, but it's the K-pop style trend. At least it doesn't smell as bad as before. What? Aw. But yes, I like how most of them in the team live chat, they were able to share some of it, and it's all about hair. I don't know if I've
I
ever
know.
followed a trend about hair. I'm not quite sure. I've
Well,
never.
see, that's the thing, right? So there's certain reasons why people follow trends. Now, for me, and from what I can read, from what our team live chat has been sharing, it's generally because you like that style that you saw in the other person. So I think that's one reason people follow trends is because they saw it on somebody that they like. Maybe in this case, I think what Sister Des was saying was like that K-pop hairstyle. Maybe that particular K-pop celebrity, they like that person, they like their music or whatever it might be, and then so they like their hairstyle. My mom, I knew that she admired, right, in a way, this particular royalty, so that's why she liked her hairstyle because she just looked so pretty and so elegant, and she wanted that as well. What's funny is I've tried a couple of different hairstyles from musicians, let's say, and other celebrities that I thought look cool. But when it comes to hairstyle, it might look good on them, but then when you try it, it doesn't look as good. I don't know but Sister Belle, you've never tried any hairstyles. You've never tried to be like, oh, I like that actress's hairstyle from that movie. I want something like that. You never
Maybe,
had anything
maybe
like that?
maybe when I was like younger, around like 11 years old, I think I really wanted bangs because everyone was
Yes.
getting bangs. And I think I counted myself. I don't even know if it was straight bangs, but yes, I think everyone at least cut their hair to have bangs at least once in their lifetime. But yes, I think that's all I remember in terms of hair trends. But yes, it was fun to have bangs, and I
Speaking
think everyone
speaking
had
of bangs,
it.
yeah, everyone tried to do their own bangs as
Yeah.
well. I actually know I have a few friends that have tried to cut their own bangs. Obviously, they're sisters, right? They're female, and many times it doesn't go quite right. Right, when you try to put it together and you try to cut it, and then once you lay it out, it's like up here instead of like actually being bangs, and yeah, so it doesn't work all the time if you try to do it yourself. But like you said, right, Sister Bell, it's because you had other friends that had bangs, and so because of that, would you say that because they had bangs, you wanted it too, or you thought that you'd look cool in bangs? Like, why did you specifically want to get bangs? You just wanted to try it?
I don't know. I was really young, but I think is because like most of my friends had it or my ates had it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And yeah, I think I pretty much rocked it because it was really fun to have them. But I don't think I would have bangs right now. I was young back then, but I don't think I would want to have bangs right now. But yes, I think yeah, as long as you like it, it doesn't matter, as long as you like it and you don't do it just to show off, because
Hmm, I
it
like
have to,
that. That's
doesn't really have to. Sometimes we look back and we're like, oh, it didn't look good, but at the time you felt happy about it, and you didn't really you didn't really think about, oh, maybe this doesn't look right on me. But as long as you're happy about it and you're not going against any teachings, of course, uh, I think that you should go for it.
that's true. That's true. One thing that comes to mind when it comes to because your friends have it is phones, mobile phones, right? Like maybe not so much now because getting a brand new phone now is pretty much the cost of buying a whole new desktop computer, right? But before, what's really funny is that I remember when everyone wanted to get phones, and then they wanted to get smaller and smaller phones, right? Like it was cooler to have a small phone, right? And because generally the phone started off big, right? I don't know if I'm showing my age here, Sister Bell, but mobile phones used to be really big and hefty, and they could pretty much drop and the concrete would break and not the phone, right? That's how big they were and how tough. And then they got small, and it was cool, and everybody wanted to get the latest new phone that was small, right? But now it's kind of the opposite. Everyone gets the latest phone, but then they're getting bigger and bigger, and it's almost like the bigger the phone, like ooh, the more cool it is, right? Or the more that's more like something that you want to get because it looks like, it's kind of like that whole feeling, that they say like keeping up with the Joneses. I'm not sure if that's like an American term, but basically, when you see somebody else have it, it's like, oh, I want to have that too, right? I just kind of like want to keep in par. I feel like many times that's one of the reasons why people kind of like end up following is because one person have it and someone looks up to them, maybe a celebrity talked about it, and then the next person goes, I want to be like that, and then they see it, and it's kind of like a roll-on effect. When more and more people see it, then they all go, I want to do that as well, or I want to follow that as well. I want to have that. I want to get that hairstyle. I want those clothes. I want that car. I want that, I don't know, whatever else, right? There's so many different trends out there. I'm going to stick with food. I like I like the trends that comes with food. Brother Nathan shared there in the live chat, spiky hair or spiking hair was the trend in the early 2000s.
I
There's a
remember that.
Can you imagine me with spiky hair, Sister Bell? Because it was actually my hairstyle, I think roughly around that time, in particular because of well, not cartoons, they just say anime, right? The Japanese animation, like all those martial arts one. Generally, the really cool looking character has spiky hair as well. So you want to look cool as well. So you have your hair spiked, right? So that's kind of like why you end up following things. And then your whole group of friends also, like that same character. So everyone gets their hair spiked. But yeah,
Oh, you should try again.
no. I think I've gone through that phase. It's too long now to do that. But before we're gonna talk a little bit more about trends. But with that, right, Sister Bell, what have we got next before we move on with our topic discussion?
So, up next is our favorite segment, which is Faith and Melody Heartbeats. And we will be playing Guide My Heart, produced by the District of New Zealand. It's from the English and
Ooh,
Christian
New Zealand.
Video Awards 2024. So that's really exciting, as well as another song which is entitled Heirs to the Crown, requested by Sister Lucy Ancheta from the local of Charlotte, District of Virginia, during our Sunday replay episode, which was yesterday. So hope you enjoy that.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
You've been there since the beginning. You have loved me from the start. You were always there to teach and guide my heart. As the world spins on around me, I choose which path to take. You always show me, Lord, which steps to make. Lord, please hear my prayer. Light my way as I walk to forever. Hold my hand, Lord, through the night. Guide me through the dark and help me shine bright. Hold my hand, O Lord, and keep my feet on the ground. From you I'll never part, whatever comes my way, I pray. Please guide my heart. If I face more pain and sorrow and tread a path unknown, I'll have no fear, 'cause you will lead me home. The clouds may hide the rainbow, but like waves that roll ashore, you show me how your blessings overflow. Lord, please hear my prayer. Light my way as I walk to forever.
Man yung mga makakahadlang sa iyong pananampalataya. Ipagpaw na ang iyong kahalagahan. Matutupad mo ang lahat ng mga pangarap pagka hindi mo pinabayaan ang pagsamba. Tumanggap ka ng tungkulin, isa yun sa iyong mga pagpapala. Sige, kahit po di mananalangin.
Hold my hand, Lord, through the night. Guide me through the dark and help me shine bright. Hold my hand, Lord, and keep my feet on the ground. From you I'll never part, whatever comes my way, I pray. Hold my hand, Lord, through the night. Guide me through the dark and help me shine bright. Hold my hand, Lord, and keep my feet on the ground. From you I'll never part, whatever comes my way, I'll pray. Lord, guide my heart. I pray whatever comes, please guide my heart.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
moving closer to the Holy City, Lord, let
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
And that was Guide My Heart and Heirs to the Crown. If you would like to listen to more INC music, just go to YouTube and there's the INC Original Music channel as well as the Iglesia Ni Cristo Production Company. And if you would like to also just play on your phone, there's also an INC playlist mobile app, which is for both iOS and Android users. So we basically talked about what a trend is and the different trends that have been going around and that we have also experienced. So, since we're talking about trends, is it bad to follow all trends, or are there trends that we can or should follow, Brother Jay?
That's a good question because, like, since we've been talking about all the different trends earlier, right? There's a lot more, and I don't think that all trends are bad. I think that some things that come and go are kind of innocent, and there are others, like what we mentioned earlier, that can actually impact your lifestyle, the way you live, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you look, your character, right? And even your qualities as a person in a way, So I think there are certain ones definitely you have to watch out for. I don't know why it came to mind, but it just did. But like for example, that trend that the no makeup look trend, like it's pretty innocent, right? But I think that what's like there's other trends out there where it could be a little bit more impactful on kind of like how we think and how we live. And one of the things that we're always constantly reminded, right, Sister Bell, especially from our church administration during our worship services, is that we have to be careful, right? We have to be careful of the people that we allow to into our lives and that we allow inside our heads to convince us to do things. Especially a lot of the things that we see on social media, on the internet, and even just with the company that we keep. We always have to be careful that we're Christians, no matter where we are, even online, and whatever we're doing, we always have to keep the words, the words of our Almighty God in our hearts, and also that's how we live our life. That Christian lifestyle. That's kind of that's just the main thing that we have to remember. How about you, Sister Bell? Like, what's your thoughts between trends? Do you think that is it bad to follow all the trends, or do you think that there's some trends that we can or we should follow?
I mean, overall, like you mentioned, there are trends that are fun to do and they're lighthearted, right? So, as long as we are able to follow um, God's commandments when we do certain trends, then we will be able to, like, how do you call it? That's where we will be able to filter out the unchristian like trends, such as I don't know, certain pranks that certain people do in public. Sometimes they cause disruptions or public chaos. So it's towards those trends that we should be um, avoiding. And of
Right.
course, I mean, it's normal to have fun with your friends. So we just need to be careful and aware, especially online, since most of us are exposed to social media, at least most of us. And most of the time we go on social media on our free time. So that also how do you call it, that also covers most of our time during the day. So we just need to be able to stand our ground in terms of being Christians inside the Church of Christ. And of course, I mean, not everything that we see on social media is bad, but that doesn't mean that everything that we see is also good. So we just need to be careful about it as well. But in terms of trends, at the end of the day, trends are made to be fun, right? So as long as we don't hurt another person or try to insult another person, that's where we are able to, partake in certain trends. But yes, in terms of new people listening to us today here on Faith and Melody, we have Sister Vicky Demopoy. Good evening from London, District of Great Britain. Happy and enjoy watching to all our brethren around the world. Hello, Kuya J, Atibel, and to all our Kuya Techs, to all in the live chat as well. And we also have Brother Adriano Ricafort. Greetings from the local congregation of San Jose Ecclesiastical District of Surigao del Norte. And we also have Atatoni Rose Valenzuela. Happy watching, everyone, as well as Sister Luz Alvaro. Hello, everyone. But yes, how do you call it? What was I saying? I was talking about trends. So yes,
There's
Sister Tony said, um, in the live chat, oh, trends. Definitely take a moment to think before doing and mindful of how others may see you, whether you want it or not. And that's also true because as Christians inside the Iglesia of Cristo, uh, we need to be careful about how we expose ourselves in social media because
that's true.
certain people um, certain people have different views on our church, and if they know that you're part of that we are Iglesia ni Cristo members, that's where all the more they put certain speculations towards us. So it's best for us to always behave according to God's will, and especially to the youth, since most of us are youth, and the youth is usually mostly on social media, and that's where the future is going towards, to being more online and being more on the technical side in terms of internet. And yes,
Oh,
as a
actually, with that, Sister Bell, like since you mentioned like youth are mostly the ones that are online and on social media,
Mhm.
I also have to say that it's not just the youth, but I think any age level nowadays has access to a smartphone that's connected to the internet where they can get that, right? Even like I don't, how do I say this, more experienced people in this life, right? Like even them, like, they are, because I have other people that comes up to me as well saying, oh, especially when it comes to health related things that are online, right? The ones that are more generally more conscious are the ones that are a little bit more further down in this journey, right, of life. And they always say, oh, did you see this article, or did you see that video talking about this and talking about that? And many times some of them are just influencers, maybe they're not even certified, or they don't have the proper qualifications, and they're just trying to give this information from their own opinion, and many people are watching them as if that's fact. And then they would change their entire lifestyle. They would change the food that they eat based around that, and you don't know exactly how qualified that person is. And especially when it comes to things like exercise and health, like it is different for each person, right? Not one thing will work for every single person in exactly the same way, right? So there's all those little nuances, right, that you have to be careful of, because then that's why it's always important to, when it comes to things like health, nutrition, your lifestyle or anything like that, you seek professional advice, like, from a qualified person. Because I have to say, like, even like my mom, sometimes she sends me all these videos, and I'm like, Mom, why don't you just watch this. And I sent her videos instead of what we have here on INC Radio, like Health Matters, right? They cover a lot of topics to do with like diabetes, to do with headaches, right? All different things, right? And they have actual medical professionals also sharing their thoughts here. So it's great that we have a platform like this where we can share that type of information, not just to our friends, but also to our family members. But the other end of the spectrum, Isabel, right? Not just the people that's young, and not just the people who are may older in age, further in age, but even like children right now are on the internet. You know, they're watching cartoons and they're watching all these different things. Who nowadays, if you've seen it, they are also starting to insert certain lifestyle that we don't completely agree with, right? That we respect people's opinions and all of that, but as Christians, as members of the Church of Christ, we are guided by the words of our Almighty God and what we're taught in our faith, right? And then sometimes even children's TV shows nowadays can be a little bit tricky, can be a little bit, oh, that doesn't completely agree. So for the parents out there, definitely something to keep a watch out on as well. The things that our children consume, what they're watching, and even the friends that they're playing. So you may notice that a lot of our kids might be playing video games online, but many of those video games, they're also chatting to people. They're chatting to, let's just put in the most, lack of a better word, strangers, right? That might be saying things or maybe in a way influencing them in words, right? Maybe the language that they use that as Christians, we that wouldn't be considered Christian-like. So we definitely have to be careful of that because those trends and those influences that we're surrounded with, right? It's very easy to get pulled into it if you aren't being mindful that it might be affecting what it is for us members of the Church of Christ, how we should be living our life and our lifestyle.
Yes, it's really important to also fact check most of the stuff that we see online. Sometimes it's AI generated, or it's just some random fact that you just see, and most of the people don't know that it's not true, or sometimes it's a satire joke, and sometimes certain people take it seriously. So as brother Jay just mentioned right now, it's always better to fact check and be careful on what we see online at any age, at any age, any part of the world, any stage that you're going through right now. So it's always better to be safe than sorry later on, right? And,
Yeah, that's
and
true. Just because the person has um, hundreds or thousands of followers or millions, or just because that person's a celebrity, and then all of a sudden that celebrity is talking about health or doing this, right? So you have to really be careful with that. I like a few of the comments that we have in our live chat, Isabel. So one that I just read was from Brother Nathan. He says some trends you need to do research and see what are the driving motivations behind them. Not all trends start from a good place, right? So that's very, very true. That's why we just have to be mindful. We have to be aware. What are we allowing to influence us? Because some trends are innocent. Some things that's happening out there in social media, that's fine. It's innocent. It's all fun, right? But then there's others. Oh, is it affecting my faith? Is it affecting how I see how I'm living my life? Is it affecting the words that I'm starting to say now? Is it still Christian like? Right? Is it affecting my style? Because sometimes, especially a lot of celebrities, fashion is beyond me. Isabel, you look very fashionable yourself, but even when it comes to fashion and the clothes and attire that we wear, we also have to be mindful that there is a proper way that we need to dress, especially as Christians, not just when we're attending worship services, but even when we're out and about, right? When we're doing our day to day things, there are, we need to be, as we say, a light of the world, a good example, right? So that's why we have to also be mindful of that. In the live chat, Sister Melvi says, we are always being taught and reminded of what's good and what's not, especially when it comes to social media and what's trending. So we need to be mindful and be careful of the choices we make. I mean, I love that we're all echoing the same thing here. I just want to read this acronym because we've missed this from our Kuya Rod, right? The acronym. He's given us an acronym for the word different, which is definitely into faithful friendships, enduring real, everyday, not so good things together. We all endure all the not so good things, but we do it together. I like that. That was very cool. But yes, and I just want to read another one from again from our brother Rod. We are different. Ain't nothing wrong with being different. Embrace it and share what we have. Share our faith. I think that just encompasses the message that that we're the thing that we're trying to really say in this part of our discussion. Being confidently different of who we are as members of the Church of Christ. We shouldn't be we shouldn't shy away from it. We shouldn't be ashamed of it or like try to hide it and just try to conform to what other people are doing just because they're doing it too. Right? We should be confident. We should be happy and confident that our differences is what's helping to put light out there in the world. Over to you. Back to you, Sister Bell.
But yes, we also have Sister Luz Alvarez saying that trends are more on fads and fashion, but short lived. Therefore, I never follow. I pretty much go by my own likes, desires, and decisions when it comes to such things, with very limited exceptions. But yes, I think what Carlos Alvarez said is really important because, I mean, there are a lot of trends, especially in changing our appearances, as we mentioned earlier about our hair. I think most of us had a few experience in that. But at the end of the day, as long as you stay true to yourself and you think about what like you think about catering to your own needs and your own preferences, that's where a trend or any other thing related to that is useful. Because I mean, a trend sometimes is just for fun, it's just for a short term, but in the bigger picture, in the long
Mm.
term, we should be able to stay true to ourselves, right? And especially as
and
Christians.
and and who we are as Christians, right? We are Christians, and then like what Kuya Rod said there, we are Christians all the time, even online. That's what like he added there. So totally, it's like oh, it's all like clashing together, coming together. It's all coming together, right? And I just want to read this really quickly, Sister Bell. Our brother Nathan says, Kuya Nathaniel, I respect my friends who have different views from my own. I expect that respect in return, which is very true. I just wanted to highlight this, right? Because sure, we have our own views, our own values as well. The values that we hold, our faith as members of the Church of Christ. And other people have their own opinions and their own views as well, and we respect that, and that's fine. And I think the respect should go both ways, right? It should go both ways. Like it shouldn't mean that we should try to that they should when people are trying to convince us, when we say no, that means no, right? And when we say, oh, that's not something that we do, well, we don't go there, we don't do that, we don't attend those type of events, whatever it might be, we should be comfortable enough, right? And proud enough to be able to say, oh no, that doesn't go against my beliefs, or that doesn't go, sorry, that goes against my beliefs or what I value. I don't do that type of thing. So definitely something that we should remember as well. We shouldn't be shy of our membership of the Church of Christ and to share our faith. And what you can do then is send them an article or like a video explaining why we don't believe that. Right? I think I just watched that. I don't know if Ate Zenaida is still listening in, but I think one of the INC Radio reminders that we play here in INC Radio is that, when there's certain events happening, like at school, I think it was, or at the workplace, that we don't follow, it's okay to say no. We should say no, and then share something. We've got so much different articles on different platforms, so we can share that particular part of our faith to other people, just to let them know why we believe such why we believe that thing, right? Sister Bell, like for you, like are there other social media platforms that you like going through, especially ones from from the Church of Christ that gives you all these other more Christian like trends, let's say.
So currently, there are a few platforms. I mean, first of all, like we're on INCRadio right now. So INCRadio is one of the vast platforms where you can watch anything about anything actually, because
It's true.
programs. There's different programs, episodes, so it's really fun. It's really versatile. And on Instagram, in terms of social media, on Instagram and I believe also TikTok, we have uh, light life underscore inc, and there's a lot of inspiring content there where brethren share their experiences as well as fun memories during activities or big events inside the church. And there's also INCEU 50th, that's both on Instagram and TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. And that's also where we share our experiences during the 50th year anniversary that we had last year in Great Britain. But that was for the whole of Europe, so we were celebrating 50 years in Europe. And that's where also a lot of pioneers in the church that have been here in Europe from the start have shared their insights and their experiences, especially to the younger generation, since they were at the very start or towards the start of the church here in Europe. And there's also a lot of other platforms such as INC Media and INC News and Updates. That's where a lot of brethren are able to get updated with the various activities and events going on worldwide. And it's just fun in general. And there's also INC Media Live every Friday. I'm not quite sure what time, but usually on INC Media News and Updates, they say what time. But that's also inspiring because you can also get merchandise and um how do you call it, any INC media card that you can share or give to your friends and loved ones who are not yet in the church. So there are so many platforms within the church that we can use, not only for ourselves to strengthen our faith and to just enjoy social media in general, but also to share our faith, because um, uh, social media nowadays is one of the biggest platforms where we are able to do that. And it's much easier nowadays than before. Instead of just sending a letter or anything, anything
Right?
like
It's just a link now. You can just send a link to someone and then they can just click play and it's like you're able to share your faith. That just reminded me of one of our segments that we do here on Faith and Melody. Every so often we have our spotlight segment, right? Like seizing every opportunity to share our faith, whether it's like you're traveling or you're just talking about food with someone, the simple way to just share your faith, like INC media cards and all that. I have to give a shout out as well, since you were mentioning all the different social media platforms that we're able to connect to. And really, it's a way for us to reach, you know, um, people of different age groups, right? And really connect with them, to share our faith with them. The Iglesia Ni Cristo production company channels that they have there, they have them on Facebook. You've got the YouTube channel and even on other social media platforms. I think that's where I saw like they do those dance challenges with some of the INC original music songs that we have, right? Those dance challenges, and then you just or those follow along, like sing the next line of this INC original music kind of thing. It's a way to share our faith as well, but in a similar trendy way, kind of like what we see on other social media platforms, but we're doing it by sharing our faith. When we're doing, I remember there again. It's a few years ago when I used to look at a lot of the outfit of the days right? Like the brothers, there would always be a different outfit of the day for worship service. And you can see them all, groomed and styled, and they're wearing suits, or they're wearing what's that, a barong, right? And all of these things, that it is like a way to show that when it comes to even fashion and style, there's a Christian style. There's a style that we members of the Church of Christ, like, we also follow. And being able to connect with these other platforms, that really helps to make sure that the things that are influencing our thoughts, our behaviors, even our speech, it's our choice on what we listen to. So having those many INC, Iglesia Ni Cristo platforms that we have on social media is really, really what's helpful, to help make sure that we're still guided to the right path, even online. And with that, I just wanted to quickly read Carl Luz Alvaro's comment here. She says, becoming Iglesia Ni Cristo, or a member of the Church of Christ, equals to becoming totally different, especially for converts like with Carl Luz. Her life took a 180-degree turn that even my own family and friends noticed. And I'm proud of the results that I share it, right? So that's very, very true. I know many, many of my friends are converts, right? They became members of the Church of Christ. And that's one of the things that they love to share. They share the changes. People see the changes of what it is. And then they share that online, right? They share all the different things, activities that we do, INC giving and all of that. And in a way, we're trending, we're trending good things when it comes to online, right? We're trending things that are Christian-like, that we do as members of the Church of Christ. We've got more to discuss with our discussion today, with our topic. But before that, we're going to take a quick break, a little breather before we move on to the final part of discussion of what it takes to be confidently different, especially with all the trends out there. So this next INC original music that we'll be playing for you is titled So We Must Work. So hopefully you enjoy this. Stay tuned. Faith and Melody will be right back.
All over the world, and we're stronger and better together. So we must work, 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 we're moving forward. Busy and work, 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 we're going onward. Victories are happening all around us. And we'll grow all the more because of God's love. Look around, we're seeing His wonders there. Take a look around. Look around, we're growing so rapidly. And it's all for the glory of God. The Church of Christ will continue to rise. Structure setting new heights. World records and aid for humanity. Farming and housing projects that help the poor and needy. When the strife for life arrives, the church provides. Other nations, they continue to fall, but God's children, we continue to heed God's call. We're proclaiming His praises to the whole globe. Ordaining ministers who kindle our hope. Spreading His truth so all will know. Spreading His truth so all will know. So we must work, 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 we're moving forward. Busy and work, 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 we're going onward. Victories are happening all around us. And we'll grow all the more because of God's love.
welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. Again, the program where we have meaningful conversations about our faith as members of the Church of Christ and listen to INC original music to get that extra inspiration. Hopefully, you're all fired up from that last song that we just played and more inspired to continue with this final part of our discussion. So, if you've just tuned in, we've been talking about what it takes to be more confidently different amongst the different trends and practices and influences that surrounds us in this world and even online, especially with social media and so forth. We've been talking about different trends and the reason why not all trends are beneficial and not and some are innocent and some may change our character or our lifestyle in such a way that it's unbecoming of who we are as a person, especially unchristian like as members of the Church of Christ, that we have to be careful of, right? No matter what age you are, there's always something out there. But at times, we may not fit in due to us refusing to follow trends that our peers are encouraging us to follow. You know, maybe our friends or the people that we work with, they might be encouraging us to follow certain things, but because we refuse to follow them, we may not, we may not have that same uh, we might have that feeling that we're outcasted or we might not fit in. But even so, how can we members of the Church of Christ be confident even though we don't follow the trends of this world? Now, Sister Bell, I'm gonna pass it over to you first. What's your thoughts on this? Like, I know many times there are certain things that we don't follow, trends or even practices that we don't adhere to or that we don't practice. It's not part of our values as members of the Church of Christ. But when other people are trying to tell us, "Oh, why don't you go here? Why don't you come with us? We're going to this place, and and so forth, whatever it might be that doesn't align with our lifestyle as Christians, and then you get that feeling, oh, that you might get outcasted or not fit in. Like, how do you still feel confident in being different in that
Well,
instance?
it's normal for us to sometimes feel left out or feel like we're missing out on something because all our colleagues or our friends that are not inside the church are having fun uh, without you. So I mean, growing up, I was able to stay resilient and think about the bigger picture because those sacrifices that we do to not hang out with certain people or to not do certain trends, as we mentioned earlier, those sacrifices are not in vain because our Almighty God takes that into account. And that's when we all the more show Him that we are resilient in our faith and we are standing our ground in terms of being a Christian. So um, for me, I stay confident because I know that at the end of the day, as long as I have God on my side, I'm able to get through anything. And even though I don't get to do certain trends or hang out at certain places or do certain activities with my friends or colleagues, I'm still, I mean, we still respect each other because
Right. Yeah.
I respect their decisions, although I don't agree with certain decisions that they make, but they also respect me as a person. So I mean, it goes both ways. So at the end of the day, it's not about what we do or not, as long as there's mutual respect and we're able to um, hold on to our faith as Christians inside the Church of Christ. That's how I see it. I see the bigger picture, and I look forward to um, God's grace because that's how I remain confident. But yes, what about you, Brother Jay? How do you stay confident in certain situations?
Uh, I like what you said there, and I think Brother Nathaniel also mentioned it earlier in our live chat, in terms of respecting each other, right? Like, yeah, everyone has their own beliefs and their own perspective, their own views on things. And we respect them. And I think respect should go both ways as well. It's important that, we shouldn't take offense just because we don't follow or we don't join in certain trends or certain practices. But we just have to stand our ground in what we do and what we believe in as members of the Church of Christ. We should really be practicing that, and it's a part of our life, right? It's who we are, so we shouldn't compromise it. Just because we have our colleagues or our friends trying to, come and do this and join us with this trend that we saw online, and that it doesn't align with Christian like attitude and behavior. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, hey, that's not what I believe in. It's not part of my values. Be respectful and just say, if that's okay, I'll let you guys do it if that's what you want to do. But if it's okay, I'm gonna go home. or whatever else like that. What other thing that also helps when it comes to being invited to these different things is the activities that we have at church. Invite them. Invite them, right? Invite them to. We have so many different activities, not just INC giving, but even like different fun activities like bowling, going to the beach and things like that. I don't know if that's the type of activities that happens there. I know recently, wasn't it just last week, Sister Bell? You also had CFO Day,
CFO
right?
day.
You
Yes.
had CFO Day, yes, and I think
It was
many,
yeah.
many places around the world also had different activities for CFO Day, which was also an opportunity to invite our friends who are not already members of the Church of Christ, just to show them a little bit of our faith and what we believe in, right? In a fun way, because I saw your for the United Kingdom. If you didn't get to catch that broadcast, they had some photos of their CFO day. That looked fun because they had jumping castles. I'm not sure if any of the parents went on jumping castles, but I know the kids probably went on the jumping castle. Did you?
Yes.
Uh,
Even
had
certain even like certain people who are not teenagers anymore were able to go on it. So everyone had fun, and there was a lot of food as well.
I
Like
saw the food. I saw
specifically,
the barbecue,
yeah, and
and I was jealous.
different roofs as well, like inside. And it was fun because everyone was having fun. There was good food, good company. And overall, like there were also certain visitors as well who are not yet inside the church. And it was a fun way for us to introduce to them the church. And they also,
Exactly. That's right, and it's a fun activity as well. And we have not just the only one. Like we have so many others where we can invite our friends who are not yet part of the Church of Christ, just to show them, the different types of activities, but also our faith. Apart from inviting them to those, we also have our Bible studies, right? And they can. I know here in Australia, here in Melbourne, they can also take kind of like a. Uh, they can meet the brethren in the locale, right? And even see inside the worship building, so that they can see what it's like in there when we have our worship services. So there's so many ways that we can also share our faith and not feel ashamed to say, hey, I don't do that, because we shouldn't. We should definitely stand our ground, because it shows that we have an opportunity to maybe enlighten them, right? And to share our faith and our belief with them. I just want to read because I saw a couple of really good comments and insights from our team live chat. So from our Kuya Rod, he says, we are confident because we have faith, love, and hope. Totally agree. Brother Nathaniel says, in my life, I've lost friends because I wouldn't go along with certain trends. If you ever lose friends for standing up for our beliefs, God will always give you better friends, right? And that's why it's also very important to be mindful of the people we hang around with, right? Again, we respect everyone, we respect all the people that we come across. But in terms of just having that extra confidence that even though we don't go along with all the trends that we see on social media, and we are very specific and we choose which trends that we do follow if we want to, right? We're mindful of it. It's very important to keep mind of who you surround yourself with, right? The friends, your company, the company that you keep, because generally the company that you keep are your one of your strongest influence when it comes to things in this life, when it comes to your character, your traits and all of that. Generally, you all share something similar. That's why you're friends. And like what Brother Nathaniel says, sometimes when you need it, because your friends aren't the right people for you, God will give you friends, better friends that's going to support you, that's going to help you, that's going to fight for you, right? And that's going to give you the things that you need so that you can remain strong in your faith as a member of the Church of Christ. Was there another comment there, Sister Bell?
Yes, Carlos Alvarez said that the fact that it were God's words we were taught in our doctrines as INC should be more than enough reason for us to be confidently different with others. And uh, Sister Melvi said also, living as Christians and upholding the values as members of the Church of Christ are more than enough reason to be confident because we abide by God's commands and His will. And that's really something that we members of the Church of Christ should be reminded of, because it's His words that they're the light in our lives. I mean, there's certain, I know that there's trends and everything, but at the same time, the life in this world is not getting any better. It's getting more difficult day by day. So I mean, um, these trends are nothing compared to the great blessings that we will receive from our Almighty God. And uh, being able to stay confident uh, these uh, through these situations and through other trials as well, that's where we are able to feel closer to God. So I mean, there's many, as mentioned earlier, there's many platforms, there's many ways for us to feel
Mm.
proud to be members inside the church, right? There's great songs that we listen to even here on Faith and Melody, great compositions, different genres. There's different videos that we created, as well as movies. There's CEBSI films, right? That are short
Oh,
movies
yes.
made by the church. We have the Philippine Arena. Come on, that's the biggest stadium so far on earth, and we have so many Guinness World Records. So, as members of the Church of Christ, there's a lot of things that we should be proud of and stand by, and that's especially the words of Almighty God. And if
Definitely.
and that should be
Definitely.
a reason for us to be confidently different.
I love that. I love how you inserted that. But that's very, very true. 100%, Isabel, 100%. The reasons why we can, we should be confidently different is because of everything that we can share with the world. All the success, all of these manifestations of God's power that we can share with everyone, especially leading up to, whenever we have special occasions, 110 years, right? That's coming up, and all the victories and all of that. Definitely reasons. And most importantly, the reminders that we receive during our worship services. Like I mentioned earlier, I just attended um, worship service just a couple of hours ago, right here in Australia. And this was our midweek worship service, so it's a little bit early, the one that I attended. But we all share the same lessons, right, all over the world. And one of the great reminders that I remember specifically, because it was almost perfect timing with this discussion here, is that when it comes to our greatest enemy, as members of the Church of Christ, right? Uh, he will use so many different instruments to try and influence us and lead us, deceive us, right? To do the wrong thing. And nowadays, the most common instrument is social media, because everyone is surrounded by it. And not just if even if we're not surrounded by it, perhaps the people that we surround ourselves with are probably on the internet and social media. So we have to be careful too, right? Because there is so many ways that is being used to kind of deceive us and lead us away from the true faith. So that's why we have to be the stronger one. We have to protect that. We have to treasure our faith by safeguarding that. And that means being mindful, being careful of the people that we listen to, the things that we follow. And in this case, the trends and the practices that people might be uh, trying to influence us or encouraging us to join, it's okay to say no, right? It's okay to say, I respect that that's what you think, but as a member of the Church of Christ, that's not for me. And we shouldn't be afraid to say that. And I really love what everyone has shared in our YouTube live chat. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I might have missed. Um, I think this last one, I'm not sure if you read from Sister Melvi. She says, sometimes being different can ignite curiosity to others. So our actions and decisions reflect on how we are as Christians. So that's very, very true. Actually, that reminds me of like when I was when I was still in high school, right? And you wouldn't participate in those certain activities, certain activities that they do that we don't do as members of the Church of Christ. And we say, oh, no, we don't participate in that. And they go, oh, really? Why? And then you let them know, and then you share something with them. That's definitely a way for us to share our faith more. So we can take that opportunity, not just an opportunity to say no, but an opportunity to say, here's more information why we believe that, to share our faith. Don't just say no, but share your faith. Take that, seize every opportunity to share your faith. And with that, we've had a great discussion. Hopefully, all our viewers and listeners, amongst all of the insights that we've shared here on the panel, and even you've shared with us, that you've gained something from this, that this has helped strengthen you and giving you some inspiration, some encouragement, right, on saying no, but also being more wise in the trends that you select. But a lot of these are our own personal experiences and thoughts. So the next segment, we do love this part of our discussion here on our show, is our verse of the week. So our verse of the week, led by and read by a minister of the gospel, Brother Roel David, as he discusses about be careful when following trends. So let's all take a moment and listen to our verse of the week.
We often see different trends or practices become popular with so many people, such as manifesting, putting their trust in astrology, or even subscribing to different lifestyles that look so different from how God wants us to live. And many times, it's our friends that are so quick to join in on what's popular, and they may even try to convince us to do the same. But what is it that we should be aware of when it comes to following the newest trend or what's popular? I'm Brother Roel, and let's listen to the advice of the Bible here in our verse of the week. But don't be deceived by what the world promotes. The reality is that unhealthy friends and associates corrupt good character. Be sensible. Do what's right and healthy because it is right and healthy. One thing that we have to understand is that just because something is popular and is being done by so many people, including our friends, does not mean that we should automatically do it as well. Because the Bible says that what the world promotes may deceive us. Unhealthy friends lead to an unhealthy lifestyle, and that's not what we want. And so, what we should always remember is what God has written in the Bible. If what's popular or trending doesn't align with God's words, then it shouldn't align with our lifestyle either. As the Bible says, do what's right and healthy because it is right and healthy. We hope that you were able to find wisdom and inspiration in our verse of the week, and we encourage you to share it with a friend who could use this reminder as well. Stay safe, stay strong, stay faithful. God bless.
We hope that the verse of the week and the various experiences and insights that we shared with you today will serve as inspiration and also a reminder for us, members of the Church of Christ, to stay resilient and confidently different in these times, especially on social media. And yes, any final takeaways or shout outs, Kuya J?
I think we've had such a wonderful discussion that it's always great to just rewatch it again. So for everyone that's tuned in and listening, if you did enjoy it as well, we do ask and encourage that you share the link. Share the link with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family, both those who are members or not members of the Church of Christ yet, because I think there's so much to take away from what we discussed today. And just with that, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to, of course, my very beautiful and supportive wife, Sister Jem Esperanza, and to our daughter Lena, for always being the one that keeps me on track on what trends is hot and what trends is not. And of course, make sure that you, if you are able to, tune in as well with INC Radio Australia. Shout out to INC Radio Australia. They always have some great topics here. I know for many of us that's tuned in right now, it might not be in the right time zone. So that's why you should be subscribed to INC Radio so that you can also catch up on the replays, because all of these broadcasts are available there on our YouTube channel on INC Radio DZM 954. And with that, thank you. My thanks to everyone there, everyone that's shared their thoughts and insights. I just want to quickly shout them out. Kuya Rod, the ones that I can see here right now in front of me, to Carlos Alvaro, to Brother Nathaniel, to Sister Melvi, to Ate Zenaida earlier, to Ate Ivy, and all of you that shared your insights with us, and to Kaviki Dumopo as well. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in.
And I would also like to greet my family, my mom, Aunt Erica, my other siblings, Arian, Sam, Dan, and of course to everyone who joined us during our topic discussion. It was really a great discussion, and it brought so much inspiration not only to me but hopefully to all those who will be tuning in later on in the replay, hopefully. And yes, we would like to also thank and shout out to our brother EJ for producing today's topic, the technical team in the main studio, Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene, and as well as Sister Des Asenas and Brother Edwin Asibuke. And we also would like to give special or important acknowledgements to Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, our CEBSI president and CEO and CFO coordinator, as well as Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister. And for tomorrow's topic or episode, it will be about our kindness within. You can catch our replays every Sunday at 6 p.m. Philippine time, or continue to tune in live every Monday to Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And for those in the Philippines, that's Tuesday to Friday at 12:01 a.m. Philippine Standard Time.
And I want to quickly give a final shout out to my dad, who will be celebrating his birthday on Saturday of May 18th. So happy birthday, Dad. Happy birthday to Kanoli. Over here. Oh, thank you, Kuya Tech. Thank you, Nico, Kuya Irene, for playing that. But yes, happy birthday. And make sure you tune in still and you to the next program, which is Iglesia ni Cristo and the Bible. Today they will be discussing why people need the Church of Christ. And this will be with Brother Mandy Nepomuceno and Brother Jonas Ira. The closing song for our show will be the INC original music, It's Gonna Be Fine. I'm your Kuya Jay, and we hope we've made the start of your week extra meaningful. Stay safe, everyone, and join us again on the next episode here on Faith and Melody. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you, Kamel B. Thank you, Kuya Rod, Brother Nathaniel.
I'm gonna go where God leads me. When the world makes me weep inside, there's a place I can call my home. The weight on my shoulders makes me afraid, but I know what I'm fighting for. With God I'll march and conquer. And I can't stop feeling, won't stop breathing. I wait with anticipation. Yeah, I won't stop holding until my fears end. Let God's light lead me. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. I'll march with honor. The day is near. I'll receive eternal life. There's a place I can call my own. I'm close to salvation, always prepared. When the Father sends His Son, I'll leave this world to meet Him. And I can't stop feeling, won't stop breathing. I'll wait with anticipation. Yeah, I won't stop holding until my fears end. Let God's light lead me. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. I'm gonna go where God leads me. When the world makes me weep inside, there's a place I can call my home. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy.
Narito ang ilang butil ng katotohanan mula sa banal na kasulatan.
Sa unang Korinto 15:58 ay ganito ang isinasaad. Kaya nga mga kapatid, magpakatatag kayo